make some noise for Ryan Long!
I took an Uber here and the Uber driver farted in the cab and then turned up the music. Like he was trying to cover the smell with the sound. You're like, does it smell in here? I don't know, it's too loud. 2 stars. People are out of control right now. I had to go to the passport office and it was like silent, except for one guy catching up on the phone, full volume. Personal shit too. He's like, the herpes cleared up, but the hep C is still an issue. Yeah. And the lady was like, sir, could you keep it down? He goes, this is legal. This is perfectly legal. Like, that's your bar for human interaction? If it's legal? There's a lot of shit that's legal you still shouldn't do. You could be legally petting a dead raccoon on the subway. What law am I breaking? Well, if it's illegal, then call the cops. Otherwise, leave us be. Just like peeing in a pool, staring at people. What's the problem? It's not against the law. Not even in the pool, just dripping down your leg into the pool. It's a barely legal pee. Is that a new thing where people are like, you should never care what anyone thinks? Like, you should care a little bit. I have 4 sons, they all don't talk to me. They're just haters. Impossible, you're shit. Girls don't say that, right? Like, you should never judge a girl's past, even though statistically it's the best way to predict her future. But if a girl says don't judge her past, it was never that bad. If a guy tells you don't judge his past, that guy to heinous fucking past. If you're hanging out with a guy, ask him some questions, he's like, I told you never to ask about my past. All you need to know is I had 2 kids, now I have 1 kid and I can't drink legally. Like a villain in a Steven Seagal movie. You signed this form from my parole officer that says I wasn't around any schools. I don't know, do you care, like, with your girl, like, who she was with before you? The way you said it, it made it sad. Yeah, no, that has been a problem. The cooler answer to not care. I wish I was that cool. Like, I don't give a shit. She has this dick, forget about the rest. My dick's like the Men in Black's dick. But I'm not that. When I first started dating my ex, she was like, oh, my boyfriend before you was a wrestler. And I was like, what? Which one? She goes, it doesn't matter. I go, it matters a little bit. Is it Doink the Clown? Is it Rikishi? John Cena? Is that your ex? Like, is he still into you? Are we gonna be hanging out, your phone's going off? Oh, it's just my ex-boyfriend, The Undertaker. Am I trying to get hard knowing The Undertaker's got unfinished business? Start taking off my girl's clothes and the lights just go out. Boom! Boom! He's in the building! Look up, my girl's eyes are rolling back in her head. Undertaker standing in the doorway in a thunderstorm with my nuts in his urn. No thanks. But then I found out it was like an underground wrestler, so super lame. You guys ever been basically this, but wrestling? They don't even give good speeches. Like the one guy won, they hand him the belt, and he comes up and he goes, thank you guys so much for coming out. You guys could, there's a 50-50 raffle. Someone could drive me home, that'd be great. People will say that though, they don't want to be judged. You ever that one? Like, don't judge a book by its cover. Like, that's the reason books have covers. Were you tricked by a cover once? Just gonna read my Bible here. The Quran! The whole purpose of a brain is to make judgments. Which way should I go? Like a bunch of thugs in an alley or an old lady? Like, don't want to judge. Your brain's like, no, actually, we know this one. Put us in, coach. The off chance the old lady pulls a gun, like, wrong choice, bitch. Never judge Agnes's book. I know a girl that said, she goes, I never judge guys, I always let my dog judge. She goes, and I'll never sleep with a guy unless my dog likes him. Her dog's got the scoop. Ruff, ruff, what's that spot? Should we blow this guy? Also, surprise, surprise, her dog judge's policy, she's fucked 0 black guys. I actually got my face bitten off by a dog once when I was younger, and the family told me that I was 12, and they go, you can decide whether they're gonna put the dog down. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, kill him, easiest choice I've ever made in my life. I'm there with jumper cables, can we make it slow? No, I obviously said don't kill him, but then a month later, the dog bit off a baby's finger. Yeah, I'm like, this baby is gonna have some tough decisions to make. What we're doing with this dog's life. Recently, my girl was like, we should get tested, and I was like, we've been together a year and a half, like, you have it. Grow up. This is the same girl that when we first started dating. She was like, just so you know, I can't get pregnant, and I was like, sick, or whatever. And then 6 months in, I was like, wait, why can't you get pregnant? She's like, oh, I just assumed because I've never been pregnant. And I was like, what? The fuck? I'm like busting inside this person. I don't know, did you go back to condoms? Like, I don't know, do you guys wear condoms? No. No, yeah, this guy's like, she wants safe sex, I hand her a mouth guard. Well, a girl usually pretends at the beginning she wants to wear a condom or it's suspicious. Like at first time, you're like, I'm gonna put a condom on. She's like, no, I need the nectar. You're like, what are you up to? Because a girl can trap a dude with a baby. You can't trap a girl like, yeah, I got you pregnant. Right, if you want to trap a girl, you have to do it slowly and methodically, like pry her away from her friends and family. Make her dependent on you financially. Lower her self-esteem. Maybe hit the wall behind her head every now and then. Let her know there's consequences for leaving. If you want to be that person, if you want to be that guy. I have a friend that says, he goes, every time I have sex with a girl, I always destroy the condom after so she can't get pregnant. I'm like, dude, you're a barback that sleeps on a couch. Who's trying to lock you down? Trying to get a percentage of that percentage of tips. Also, I love destroy the condom just on the last thrust, like pull it out. Pull! So you want to get breakfast tomorrow? Or? I should wear a condom with my girl because she's Mexican or Chilean, or I'm not sure, I'm not her biographer. But, Latinos breed at a higher rate. Sassy too, though. My girl grabbed my phone like, who the fuck is Nicole? And you'll be like, that is your name? Text from you also asking who Nicole is. Ladies. I know, I'm like, ladies, you're not this crazy with your boss at work, so don't be this crazy with your boss at home. Like, no, but the other day a hot girl walked by and she was like, you better not think that girl's hot. And I was like, you need me to not think another girl's hot? How dead inside do you need a guy? That his friends are like, that girl's hot, right? And I'm like, I can't tell anymore. Check out those titties. Titties? Is that something we value as a male species? That never ends for guys. I was once on set and this guy was in his 90s and he goes, check out that girl's ass. And I was like, oh, still? I thought that ended at some point. But it doesn't. Guys will be like about to die, just like, where's the pussy at? You never see a 90-year-old woman like, where's the dick at? Grandma's hungry? I think I would care. I'm sure you'd have sex with a 90-year-old woman, right? He says yes, yeah, she's got an oxygen tank to breathe. During sex, she asks you to choke her, you just turn down the oxygen. It's the only way she can come. Take a sip of your ice here. It is in 2018, girls say they want guys to be emotional. Girls will be like, I want you to cry. What she doesn't tell you is if you cry, she'll break up with you. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, but men's tears actually form a river for a real man to surf in and fuck your girl. Just science right there. Oh, girls don't want that. They want you to fight and shit. Like my ex, she would get me in fights at bars. I remember one time she walked up to a guy and pushed him, and then pushed him again. Then the guy slapped her. She was like, you better take this guy outside. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? This guy just slapped a girl in public. Can you imagine what he'll do to me in private? maniac. I'm gonna go up to this guy like, man, you shouldn't hit girls. And be like, what the fuck did you just say? It's like, sometimes bitches deserve it. I'm gonna talk to her, get her to apologize to you. I have a friend who's actually in a progressive relationship. He's getting married and he's gonna take his wife's last name, but he wants her to take his first name. Like, they're both gonna be Doug Smith. It's a 2019 thing. He will be breastfeeding that child as well. It's 50-50 everything. She breastfeeds for 10 minutes, then the kid sucks on his dad's tits while they pour milk on his head in the name of equality. The kid's like, I don't want to suck on my dad's tits. The kid's 12. Listen, you sexist pig. This is how we do it in this family. Listen, I know what you're thinking. There's no point of a man breastfeeding. Well, yeah, there's no point of female firefighters, but as a society, sometimes we need to jam a square peg in a round hole in the name of progress. If you guys were male feminists like me, you'd be willing to make those sacrifices. No, I don't know if you know this, but 25% of women actually make more than their husbands now, which means that 75% of women still need to pull their weight. But getting there. I have a friend who's actually like a male stay-at-home mother right now, and yeah, his wife's like a female businessman, and he's living the dream. He calls us during the day. He's like, guys want to party? We're like, no, we have shit to do. He's like, sucks to be you. Playing video games every once in a while. He gives the baby chips or whatever the fuck. She comes home and her wife beat her or partner beat her or whatever. Lets him have it. Women are a little defensive right now, right? Just a little jumpy, huh? I walked into my building, the elevator, and this lady just looks at me and she goes, oh my God, I didn't expect to see a man. Like, in the world? Is that what it's like being a woman right now? I think it's because every blog's like 9 out of 10 men are trying to rape you. And you're like, this is a cooking blog, but okay. I saw an article on the internet. It was like all women need to put coasters on their drinks because men are trying to slip pills. And it was like all these celebrities. And it was like David Blaine, the magician's trying to date rape. And I was like, okay, sorry to burst your bubble, but if the #1 magician in the world, David Blaine, wants to put a pill in your drink, I don't know what difference a coaster is going to make in this situation. I'm just saying, David Blaine could be date raping us all right now. And there is nothing nobody could do. He'd be in a different country doing it. You're just gonna wake up in the morning, cough out the condom, like, oh, what the fuck? He's attached to another condom, they just keep coming. And if it's in a consent form you signed, plain. Listen, I don't want to be too pro-women here. Listen, I don't think dating guys in Toronto is great. You just sit across from the guy who gives you 30 code words for unemployed. DJ, consultant, entrepreneur. Right? Clapping a little too loud for that. There is a lot of DJs in Toronto and they all think they're important, right? You guys ever go to a bar and the DJ's like, another sold out show with my fans? And you're like, we're just at a bar. Like, no one cares who the That's like if you got on a bus and the bus driver's like, another sold-out bus ride. Of all the buses in the city, they chose Dan Johnson's route. We the Duffer bus, we going all night long. Boom, boom, boom. You're like, we just got on a bus. I have a buddy who dropped out of university because he wanted to be a rapper, and I was like, you know you could do both of those things. Like, I don't know how much this sociology degree is interfering with your rap career. Where you're like, weed, school, rap, something's gotta give. How much rapping are you possibly doing? You're like, hey, 4 hours of class a week, no time, philosophies, hypocrisies. And he'd always post statuses, he'd be like, everyone told me I couldn't be a rapper, and it was like, no one told you that. 0 people cared. You're like, I don't want to be a rapper. Everyone's like, cool. You still owe me $20. Like, that hasn't changed. So, whatever. Anyways. You guys together?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. How long have you been together? 2 years, so you're like getting comfortable, like farting on each other and all that shit. My girl's the opposite. If she burps, I'm like, strike one. No comfort. I sleep in a jean suit. How'd you meet?
In school.
You just met in real life. You didn't have to send dick pics and all that stuff.
Oh no.
I take all my dick pics. Flaccid dick, legs behind my head, Oakley sunglasses. Oh, I've been doing it. No, I know girls say that. They're like, oh, like guys need to stop sending dick pics. Well, like girls need to stop fucking guys that send dick pics. Right? Like girls are like, oh, gross. And then one girl on the crew's like, yeah, gross, right? Doesn't mention she went to his house and sucked it. And now they're dating. How'd you guys meet? You're not gonna tell me? No. Is it a secret? Is it like something weird? Like, she is my sister. Why would it be weird? Oh, did you say you don't know when you meet? Oh, you were clubbed over the head? It's like just getting my memory back recently. You, like this, that's really weird, right? You don't know? Oh, we're in a pedophilia club. We actually met at NAMBLA, funny enough. Yeah, it was the season opener for our fucking... We met at, have you ever at Pizzagate? We used to hang out there at the pizza shop. Well, I was talking to these two gay dudes recently. They were at a show, and I was like, how'd you guys meet? And they were like, oh, we met in an orgy. And I was like, being gay is insane. Like, that's what it's like. You're just fucking a dude in an orgy. Like, we should get coffee after. Being gay is just home runs every time. Barry Bonds in the steroid era, every time. There's no first base for gay people. Someone starts jerking you off, you're like, quit playing with your food. Is there any gay people in the crowd? No? So we're all going to heaven? No, my brother's actually gay, or he was gay. We killed him for the Lord. No, he is gay, I know, because I had sex with him. What a fag. Okay. My family hates when I do comedy. We did disown him, though, because he's black. Not my brother, just a brother. Sucks because I can't beat up my brother anymore because it'd be a hate crime when it should be a love crime, right? My love for our Lord and Savior and the rules he's bestowed upon us. Did you guys go to Gay Pride Parade? You know who loved Gay Pride Parade? It was TD Bank. Oh my God. Literally, it's just dicks, 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 mortgages, hedge funds, ball gags, two guys fucking, interest rates. Like TD's new slogan is just like, suck a dick, TD. If I ever come out of the closet, I tell my bank first and foremost. TD, I'm gay. We love that. We put the fun in hedge funds. Corporations are all about all that shit right now. It'll be like, we know there's 72 genders, but there's only one refreshing beverage, Coca-Cola. The best ad I saw recently, though, was a Facebook ad, and it goes, it's okay for men to experiment. These are the questions we're asking. Axe body spray. And I'm like, Axe body spray? A year ago, their slogan was like, fuck her, she's probably awake. Oh, she's only 13? La 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 la. Axe. La 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 la. La la la. What the fuck does Axe body spray think their demographic is? Shawarma shop owners, lacrosse players, and my stepdad. It's a little hot in here, eh? How do you guys feel about that heat? I actually had to go, I got my wisdom teeth out by my dentist as a Russian Jew, you know, worst of both worlds. Is there anything scarier than a Russian accent? As you're falling asleep, guy looks at you like, you go sleep now. Am I gonna wake up with no organs? And they wouldn't let me leave. When I tried to leave, they're like, you can't leave unless someone comes and picks you up. And I was like, oh, well, I don't have that. So do I live here now? Is that how you got here? Just went to the dentist and never came back? I'm working on my Russian accent, just the least racist one I can pull off. Which sucks, because I do a mean Asian accent, but you guys will never hear it because you're pussies. So, I mean, I guess I could do it. If you're gonna beg. Okay, but don't get weird. I've been working on this Asian accent for a few years now. Ooh. See, I knew you wouldn't be able to handle it. Called it. Progressive Toronto crowd couldn't handle my true accents. Have you ever seen someone with the wrong accent? There's like a guy in Vancouver. He works at a sushi place, and he's a white dude with a Japanese accent. The craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Dude, you literally walk in, and he's like, "Can I take you?" And you're like, this guy is committing to this waiter position at sushi time. It literally seems like there was a thunderstorm, and he switched bodies with another guy in Japan. Right now, there's a guy with a lampshade hat and a rake in Japan. Like, what the fuck? Why am I talking like this? What just happened? Don't worry, guys. I'm allowed to make race jokes. By the way, I'm mixed race. I'm half Irish, half English. I did my Ancestry.com. It just came back 100% white. Just said winner. I grew up in a white family. Recommend that. Missed out. You know what? Family doesn't matter for white people, straight up. Like, okay, in your family, if someone wins the lottery, like, whole family's rich. In a white family, if someone wins the lottery, that person's rich. The rest of the family waits for him to die and argues over the cottage. That's just the system. You ever see sometimes immigrants will move here and then send money back home to their families? A white person would never do that. You might send your family a picture of the money. Hashtag crushing it. Have fun being poor in Australia, Dad. No sharing with white people. Black guys share everything. Like, you ever see, like, when they win an awards, a black guy will be like, this is for all black people? Like, white people don't share their awards with their whole race. In fact, it's strongly discouraged. This right here's for the white man. Like, no, don't start the music. They need to hear this. Not for white people, it's for white person. No, listen, I don't care if you're white, black, or brown, as long as you don't mix. I don't know if you guys know this, but in thousands of years, because of all the mixing, everyone will be brown, and then every house will smell. So, but tastes great. But tastes great. I think it was a trick to keep white people away from curry. I remember the first time I tasted it, I was like, wait a second. Why does it taste like this and smell like that? Why is it in the curtains? We've all been to a house where you're like, why does it smell? They're like, oh, a brown guy lived here in 2001, so... shouldn't be tastes great. I remember growing up, when I was going to hell with my brown friends, were like, listen, you might want to put a gas mask on. And then when we went to my house, you know, I'd be like, listen, my sister and mom are going to be speaking freely. I hope that's not a problem for you. White people love Indian culture the most. You ever see a white guy get to go to an Indian wedding and wear all the stuff? How fucking happy he looks. Just in the shit. I am Bollywood. That's a profile pic. Then 2 weeks later, I'm back to that profile pic. They want you to think there's like a race war going on right now, but there's not. I saw a Facebook photo. Someone posted this. It was a black guy and a white guy hanging out, and it goes, "This is the unity we need more of in society." And I'm like, where do you live where that's like a big deal for you? Because I grew up in Ajax, and my best friend was black. We had to overcome zero adversity for that friendship. Not once was like, you want to get pizza? But you're white and I'm black. Like, we didn't need a best friend montage. Best friends, one is white, one is black. He teaches me his culture of playing basketball and dominoes in slow motion. We go to the store, he tries to steal. I'm like, no, you just pay for it. You didn't have to do any of that stuff. Even a little bit. No, joke aside, I don't care if you're white or black or brown as long as you're not French. Scum. I have a friend who moved here from Quebec, and we told him, you know, MDMA is M. We told him drugs is D in Ontario, so whenever he's at the bar, he's looking for D. Looking for D? D for Pierre, please. Wait for one person to be like, I'll give you some fucking D. Anyways, what are you guys talking about?
The stool is gonna...
Oh, you're worried about my well-being? Look at these guys. I love how you guys have been having a 5-minute discussion over what to do. Like the stool, like, I don't know. What do we do? Do we buy a new stool? Do we get our paving gear and then pave the hole? Fun stuff. I feel like the hardest part about being in a relationship is if you're trying to watch TV and your girl's on top of you and you're like, could you not be on top of me? She's like, oh, because I'm fat. You're like, my leg's unconscious. You know what I mean? You got 90 pounds on you, or if she's overweight, 95 pounds. No, my girl's skinny because of all the coke. That's a sensitive topic right now, though. You can do a pedophile joke. Everyone's like, fuck those kids. But if you're like, this girl was a bit overweight, everyone's like, buddy, we can have a problem tonight? We have to get the blogs involved? It's hard to explain to other cultures like the way it is now. My buddy moved back from Pakistan. He was like, what happened in North America in the last 3 years? He's like, every magazine, the girl's overweight. Do you just love that? And you're like, no, not really, but you have to pretend you do, or you get in trouble on Facebook. Very complicated to be alive, all the opinions you need to pretend to have right now. Even doctors don't want to say fat. They have to be like, listen, if you could be 30% less brave, that'd be great. If we get your levels of, you go girl, down to just, you go girl, you know. Look, if we look here at your height to empowerment chart, you're getting very close to morbidly courageous. And it's not like guys care. Like, when was the last time you had sex with a 400-pound man?
Never.
Because you're a bad person. Ask a group of guys what's the worst they've done. They'll be like, buddy, this week? I know friends that are into that shit. I have buddies that'll be like, check out that girl, and you're like, the one in the mobility scooter? Yeah, she's a 10, and I'm like, on the Richter scale, maybe. Which is fine. Like, there's a TV show on the TV. It's called More to Love. It's like The Bachelor, but all the girls are overweight. It's like a fat propaganda show. Which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. But then they interview the guy, and you're like, you like big girls? He's like, not really. You're like, what? What are you doing? Get a guy that shows up like, where are they? Can I feed them? Like, get that guy. He loves that shit. Not the guy that's like, weight's irrelevant. What are you doing? It's like if you see a guy and his girlfriend's got these like triple Z massive titties, and you like, you a tit man? He's like, nope. And you're like, well then quit hogging them. Save them for someone who would die for those titties. She tries to get a breast reduction, he fucking chains himself to the titty. It is funny watching celebrities get in trouble though right now, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you guys know the rapper Genuine, the greatest rapper of all time, the GOAT. For me, it goes Genuine, Nelly, then Genuine again. Well, he was on a reality show, and he said he wouldn't have sex with a trans woman that still had a penis, and everyone was like, dude, you can't say that. And Genuine was like, did I miss something? I thought I knew this one. No, I won't suck a dick. Next question, moving on. Just think we're asking a lot of Genuine as a society, and his new song's gotta be like, sucking on my girl's dick. He's gotta be riding her pony, or else he's in trouble. Also, I'm not allowed to make trans jokes. I'm transitioning. I know, you're like, which way? No, I'm a new thing. Girls bring me home. They're like, where's your penis? I'm like, check your pocket. I'm a transgician. It's a second magician joke. I don't know if you guys know this, but there is actually 72 genders now, which means that men are better than 71 genders. Boys, boys, boys! Yeah, you're right. Carried away. Carried away. I actually went to a bar that had gender-neutral washrooms, and it's kind of weird because I'm just like taking a shit in a girl's washroom. And there's like these 20-year-old girls looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is your idea, 20-year-old girls. Pin this on me, you know? But then I came out and I was telling my buddy it was kind of weird, and he goes, dude, this place doesn't have gender-neutral washrooms. You just took a shit in the girl's washroom, and everyone's talking about it. Ooh, I guess I'm a little more progressive than you. I have a friend who his girlfriend came out of the closet. She said she's gender fluid, which means half the time she's a girl and half the time he's a guy, which means my buddy's gay half the time. Which sucks because she pays the rent, and he's like, oh, do I get a job or do I have a boyfriend? Like, it's a complicated dilemma he's in. I don't know how it works. Like, can they switch mid-sex? Like, he's having sex with her and it's like a full moon or wherever it happens. And he's giving it to her, and she's just like, give me a beer. Like, well, I guess it's jail rules tonight. Ho, ho, ho. When she does the Tim Allen grunts, the transition's complete. That's how you know. That's the only way to know. It is a weird time for certain things, you know what I mean? Like, if you're like, what's up, I'm Corey, like, it's over for that guy right now. Not a good year for Corey. Like, fuck this girl. Everyone's like, you mean she liberated herself, you piece of shit? But it is over. I mean, I never bragged about sex. I always bragged about the opposite. I'm like, 30 seconds, didn't break a sweat. You know what it is. My girl's like, can we do more than 30 seconds? I'm like, oh, you a freak, huh? That's my main move, is whispering into her ear 30 seconds in, the end is near. Winter is coming. That's our sex talk. I'm like, I'm gonna come, and she's like, don't. I'm like, I'll keep fucking. She goes, you always say that. You ever do that move where you just come in your girl and then pretend you didn't? Just swish around like you're mixing paint, just... She's like, why am I so wet? You're like, because you're fucking the king. Like, no, I'm pretty sure there's cum in my vagina. You're like, well, it ain't mine, so what the fuck? Whose is this? You tricking again? It is a little harder for a girl to come, right? Like, if a girl's about to come and there's a bug in the room, it's over. If a guy's about to come and there's a bug in the room, that bug's involved now. This just became a threesome with the bug. I was actually on the internet and some guy got busted for child porn, and then I was looking at the comments and some lady goes, I didn't even know they made porn for kids. Like, she thought that child porn was just porn they make for kids. Like, it's two adults fucking, but then they look at the camera like, B is for bukkake, it's child porn. A is for ass play, stay in school, kids. Aw. You ever watch a porn that gets too real? I was watching one, the guy looks at the girl and he goes, tell me what you want. The girl looks at the camera, she goes, I just want to be happy. I was like, fuck. It is dark. Close the laptop, I think we're done with the internet for the day. Jesus Christ. This is kind of a interesting story, but, or like maybe inappropriate for this point in the set. Which is a weird thing that I'm about to tell you, but 2 years ago my uncle died, and then we didn't tell my grandmother because she was about to die, and then she didn't die, so now it's just a secret in the family. Their son's dead, if that's making sense to you guys. Yeah, we're literally like a family thing. She's like, where is he? And we're like, what the fuck? Yeah, the other day she's like, he never visits me anymore, and we have to be like, that piece of shit. He is dead to us. Let's never speak of him again. But no, I'm not a religious, like I haven't read the Bible or the Quran or the Jew Quran. You guys remember Christians used to be crushing it? Now they're just sad. Like, I don't even know if they're top three. There's a guy in Dundas Square, he's always like, who has a moment for the Lord? Everyone's like, get the fuck away from me. And he's always like, may never have a moment for the Lord. Guess it's just me and you, big guy. The other day I was walking by with my girl though, and he was like, the Lord doesn't want you to wear condoms. And I'm like, dude, let's hear him out. Oh, it's making some sense right now. You know, the Lord was a raw dog, man. Commandment number 11, thou shalt fuck raw. Have you guys seen the new rebrand of like the Catholic Church? They have like Pope Francis, he's like the cool Pope. It's like not your grandmother's Pope. He like kick flips in over the old Pope. He's got like a wallet chain to the commandments. Yeah, first of all, I said they're taking gays now. I mean, desperate much? He has all these non-controversial stances. The other day he came out and he goes, Pope Francis says he's against child sex trafficking. And I'm like, yeah, I hope so. Like, yeah, better than his last stance. Listen to your pimps, kids. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I feel like if the church really wants to do a good rebrand, they need to rebrand the music, you know? Like, the black churches are crushing it. Like, hallelujah. The white ones are just creeping everyone the fuck out. Hallelujah. Oh, you're like, is it haunted in this church? But still the creepiest religious music of all time. I heard recently, so I took a cab, and the cab ever played The Call to Prayer full volume. Do you guys know that song? It's a, it's the #1 song in Yemen right now. Do you guys not have Spotify? I mean, am I getting the words wrong? I mean, I'm not gonna hold your hand through this joke if you guys don't know. It's the #1 song in the world, but I mean, it was originally by Allah, covered by Muhammad. I mean, if you guys only know white music, I can talk about Drake or whatever the fuck. And I'm not gonna say anything either. Blog's get a hold of that racist comedian wants Muslim culture turned down. Yeah, no thank you. So what I did was I just played some Christian music really loud on my speaker just to, Jesus was our Lord and Savior, so be on your best behavior. Both good tracks. I mean, I don't make you choose between the two. Okay, if you had to choose, if it was a karaoke showdown, Christ versus Allah, one chance, can you make him dance? The returning champion 10 gazillion years running. Come on, sing along, guys. Just the fellas. Okay, if you guys don't know the words, then come back when you do. First, the newcomer, Jesus Christ. Don't covet the neighbor's wife. Both good tracks. I want to make you pick between two amazing songs. By the way, they play that song in certain cities 5 times a day. Like, can you imagine? Because I went to camp once and they woke me up every morning at 6 a.m. to Smash Mouth All-Star. Literally every morning, 6 a.m. Somebody, like, by day 3, I wanted to murder. Okay, I'm sorry. You know, I told them I wouldn't talk about you. This guy, he's so vengeful. It's the law guy. Okay, Allah. Sorry, it's okay. If anything, it should be 6 times a day. Okay. 5's not enough. I'm just saying, Allah, if I had to wake up 5 times a day, I would blow up a tower. That's all I'm saying. One, a perfectly reasonable amount of towers. Everything in moderation. Never forget. I'd be down to maybe join the army if you didn't have to be homeless after. My girl's been pretty into giving money to homeless people lately, which sucks because she owes me money and I gotta take it back like wasn't hers to give. I actually had a homeless guy jerk off towards me the other day. Very flattering. I got out of my car and he just goes, ugh! But then he looked at me and he goes, I can't come, like it was my fault. Like I gotta be like, well, he's gotta come, you know. Make this a white Christmas. I'll get out of here soon. I know it's getting hot. I used to live with a dude though, and he used to bring girls over, and he had the loudest sex noise, but you would never hear the girl. Literally, like, dude, what's your sex noise? Just laughing maniacally with a clown mask on. What do you got? Do you have a sex noise? That was about one. She's like, give me that dick. You're like, Did you say, come on? What did you say?
Go on, Tom.
That's your sex noise? Come on, Tom. When you're fucking your wife, you're like, come on, Tom. Bring it in, Tom. Tommy. Tommy boy. Plenty of room in this motherfucker. I haven't even made a dent. I feel like every guy wants his girl to be dirty till it gets into their ego, right? I'll be like, tell me some dirty shit. My girl will be like, yeah, I want 2 dicks. I'm not gonna want to play anymore. You can't get it up. Your girl's like, what's the problem? You're like, oh, I'm sorry if my one soft dick isn't enough for the 2 rock hard ones that you'll require. Every guy's been there, right? You've been there. You can't get it up. Girl acts like she doesn't care. You act like you don't care. Everyone cares. You're just sitting on the toilet in the dark. Are you singing REM in there? Mind your business! Everybody hurts when the day is long. See, girls don't get it. Because, like, if a girl can't get wet or whatever, you just spit on it. Problem solved. If a guy can't get hard and you spit on it, things just got way sadder. Just a slimy slug of disappointment. A puddle of what could have been. Well, that's why they invented Viagra. You ever take Viagra? No? Okay, take it easy. He's like, I'm hard right now. Well, a guy invented Viagra, but I thought it would be a girl who had one too many soft dicks, like this ends now. In her basement with a cauldron and a stick, like, oh, yeah. Oh. Ron Jeremy DVD. Testicle of a newt. Some shame. Apparently, one dude took so much Viagra that his heart exploded. For real. And the doctor still said it wasn't nearly as much damage as he did to his girl's puss. By the way, guys, if you want Viagra, you just go to the doctor and ask for it. There's no procedure. They start jerking you off like, this guy doesn't need Viagra. You kidding me? This is a rock right here. We need a second opinion here. Another doctor comes in. Fuck, I love my job. You're like, you jerked me off, you blew me, do I get this Viagra? And they're like, oh, we don't work here. Okay, guys, you guys have been super fun. I'm Ryan Long. Thank you very much. Have a good night. I'm sorry it was so hot. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Long! And all the comments you saw, thank you so much for coming out to the Corner Comedy Club. Hey, did you know we have not one, nor two, but three locations. There's one here, one in Leslieville, at Queen and Logan, and one in Niagara Falls, too. We just opened a brand new 150-seat club in Niagara Falls.
It is a little unfair. You always hear behind every great man's an even greater woman, but you never hear behind every man that committed atrocities is a woman who's even more atrocious. Like, do you guys think Hitler's girlfriend loved Jews? I think she was in on the project, personally. Hitler came home after doing art or whatever Hitler was up to back then. It was like, how was your day, Eva? And she was like, I don't know, Hitler. She's really naggy, Hitler's girlfriend. I don't know, Hitler. I was just talking to a real man today, David Rosenberg. What are you gonna do about it? Man that can grow a full mustache. She died, though, which is probably good. If Hitler's girlfriend didn't die, she'd have a blog right now, 10 ways to know when you were dating a narcissist. Hitler's girlfriend would have a podcast with Anne Frank about how they're both victims. Okay. Two more bad things, and I'm gonna move on. There's probably not even any here, but ladies, this is a fair question. Why do the women that hate men the most look the most like men? That is a fair question. Buzz cuts, men's clothing. That would be like if the leader of the KKK was wearing a do-rag, right? It's like the white race is the best race. He's dribbling a basketball, like beatboxing. Like, he loves black people, it looks like. But I think sometimes people are a little unfair to women, because we'll say, oh, they're more crazy, but their craziness is just spread out. You all get a little, whereas guy craziness is centralized into one psychopath that has a woman locked in his basement. Girls, you know, girl craziness like 5%, 5%. Guy craziness is like normal, normal, normal. Hitler, normal, 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 normal. Shoots up at school, normal. There was only one woman that ever shot up a school, and she went trans first before she did it. Isn't that wild? 25 years as a woman, no problems. 1 year paying for her own drinks. $50? No, we just had 2 margaritas. That's how much they cost! No. So I was moving recently, and we were looking up moving companies, but because of the algorithm that kept showing us this one company that was like an all-girl moving company, like a shitty moving company, right? And honestly, I'm not even saying that to be controversial, but like, has any dude here ever been moving with his chick and halfway through is like, babe, you gotta start a company. You are crushing it. You gotta take this pro, baby. All right, how about this? All-girl moving company called the Ex-Wives, and they just take half your stuff. How about... Come on, that's a pretty good idea. You can have it. It's your idea. I'm kind of on the lady side, by the way, because I don't think I should be a mover, you know? I don't think anyone would be happy if you hired a mover and a guy like me showed up like, we're doing both couches? No, you want some retard from the suburbs with cauliflower ears. Where's the boxes, right? Guy looks like that. That's what you want, right there. I used to do UFC, I move now. Sandpaper fingers, right? That would destroy a woman's vagina if he fingered her, right? That's not my silky smooth comedy hands. I will say, though, if you ever hire someone to help you move, you better not be there, because you'll never feel like a bigger bitch as a man than hiring another real man to come move cuck you in your own house. Two real men walk in like, all right, ladies, what do we... Oh, a guy hired us. All right, weird. Okay. You're just in the corner in the dark. I'm the guy paying, brother. Slower. You like that? I'll pay you more if you sweat a bunch. Just turn you into a trad wife. You're like, you boys need some lemonade? They're emasculating you. Like, you'll tell you what, you can hold the wrench, kiddo. You're like, can I? Oh my God, they're heavy. I honestly don't even get that weird about masculinity stuff. Only sometimes there'll be like shows that are a little too in your face. Like, you guys know Yellowstone, like the cowboy show? Big Yellowstone fan? What's your thoughts on Yellowstone while we're on the subject? What do you think of it? Pretty good. I don't know. Not bad. It is a little in your face, though. Girls watching want to fuck cowboys a little too much. Which is fine if you're a cowboy, not so fine if you're a comedian in New York. You know what I mean? The guy on the screen will just be like, a man who can't ride a horse is not even a man at all. And I'm on my bed in Manhattan like, what the fuck? I'm a man. Bullshit. You ladies sitting in your bed with a man who can't even protect you on 14th Avenue. Oh, you're like, that one's about me. That feels... I can protect you. Then I hear something at the door and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. I find myself being defensive. I'll be like, I mean, some people have said that comedians are the cowboys of the internet, so... Hey, remember that joke I made that was offensive to Indians? Bit of a cowboy move, right? A little bit of cowboy behavior there. So maybe that, and then a few months ago, my girl asked me to open a jar and I couldn't, so I don't know if you ever not been able to open a jar. All right, you'll just... Ladies and gentlemen, we have David Goggins in the audience tonight. He just laughed at me like, I do 2 jars at once, pussy. Pickles for everybody. Just looks at the pickles, they jump out, they know what's up. Well, it's not ideal, so that's better, because your chick's like, can you open this jar? And you're like, yeah, obviously. Then you watch her pussy dry up as you're like, is it like a prank jar? A prank situation? And then because girls are nice, she goes, well, why don't we ask the neighbor to open it? I go, I mean, if you want me to kill myself, ask the neighbor? Are you out of your mind walking over? Ding dong, we heard there's a strong man that lives here. Are you fucked? The only thing I could do is go over and be like, yo, could you open this jar? Yeah, me too, just checking, boys. Go back on. He wasn't home, took it down on the way over. That's what I do. But then worse than that, she goes, no, I don't know why you're making a big deal of this. I prefer that you're not some macho guy. And I go, that's not actually a compliment. I prefer a weak man. a compliment like your girl saying, oh no, I actually prefer yours because the big ones hurt too much. Or worse, I prefer yours, the regular ones hurt too much. Maybe dudes need, you know how girls have positivity on the internet where it'll be like, every girl's beautiful. It'll be like a girl under a bridge, like, even me. Especially you. There's no dude version where it's like, every man's rich and we can open every jar. Yeah, come to think of it, I fucked that jar up. Because the internet sort of tells people how they want the world to be, but real life sorts it out a bit. You've seen things that'll be like, every girl should be allowed to walk through a dark alley at any time of night with her tits out. And real life's like, yeah, but don't though. What are you, crazy? Mental? I've even seen things on the internet that'll be like, women are just as strong as men. And it's like, okay, then why are you so easy for me to put in my trunk? You know what I mean? Hey. And I'm not even macho. Actually not really like one of those comedians that's like you can't say anything anymore. Like you kinda can. Like you can do it. I mean, I'll leave it on YouTube, but here the trick is don't have a job. That is the first trick, and a microphone does help. That's another thing. Because I had a guy come up to me after a show, and he was like, dude, it's messed up. You can't say anything. I got fired from my job for making fat jokes just like you were doing. And I go, what do you do for a living? And he goes, I'm a waiter. I go, little different, though, no? I don't know if waiters should be making fat jokes. Going up to a table, eating for 4 tonight, are we, ladies? What? I can't make a joke? Like, I might be on your boss's side. To be honest. And I think things have kind of got more normal in the last little bit, but I do still find super overly empowering narratives very funny. Like, there's this show on Netflix called In the Dark. Do you guys know the show? So it's about this girl. She's a blind alcoholic detective, right? Sorry, blind alcoholic sex addict detective. And there's a scene, it's honestly a pretty good show, but there's a scene in the show where a friend goes, you'll never solve the case. And she goes, why? Because I'm blind? And her friend goes, no, it's because you didn't go to school for that. And you're like, also because you're blind. Like, I don't even know what the lesson to be learned there is. Like, you're supposed to watch that and be like, I can't believe I used to think blind people couldn't be detectives. Now that I'm educated, I hope my cab driver's blind. I want Helen Keller picking me up, now that I know. And I get it, it's like Hollywood stuff, but you could be the most Hollywood person in the world, but if your own daughter went missing and the detective showed up like, what's up, I'm the detective on the case here. Or we only got 24 hours to solve this bad boy, so. Do you mind if I feel your face? I just wanna get a bit of a read of what she might look like. Also, I'm drunk. Did I mention a lot of White Claws today? I got into it. Could I suck you off? I'm a sex addict too. Did I mention? You're like, is there some sort of problem? And you're like, well, we're just behind you. And you're like, oh, 'cause I'm blind. Like I'm crazy for saying maybe every person shouldn't have every single job? Listen, if I hire a roofer and he shows up in a wheelchair, I'm not gonna be pumped. I apologize. Just wheeling in like, I'm actually amazing at what I do. You just gotta get me up there. If you got a pulley system, I will work magic on those shingles. I just came back from Vancouver, right? And I just sit beside the biggest guy on the plane. And okay, I don't want to make fun of a guy for being big, but he a regular person had, so you know it was his own fault. So what happened in the middle of the night, this guy wanted to go to the washroom, and I was sleeping, right? And I just woke up to him straddling me. And he leans in and he goes, I didn't want to wake you, man. You just made this so sexual. And I'm trying to wiggle out, but now I'm just motorboating. I'm like, and he's like, participating. I was like, you want to get by, you got to pay the fee. I'm playing my rules, do a jihad on these titties. Just pop up with a milk mustache. First world problems. Why are those people always say that, like first world problems? I'm like, this is where I live. I'm not gonna have third world problems. If I was on stage right now, like my hut's leaking, you'd be like, why do you live in a hut? Psychopath. Like, it's just unrelated. If I'm motorboating a guy, I can't be like, well, at least we have running water. Right? It's unrelated. Like, if you're gonna say first world problems, at least say them all. This would be a first world problem. I have a wife and she fucks all my friends and I want to kill her, but I can't because it's not India. And I'm like, first world problems. Just me sitting there with a bucket full of stones and no one to legally throw them at. But there's second world problems. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, in China there's a building called Foxconn where so many employees committed suicide out the window they put up nets out to catch them. Can you think of a worse way to not die? You're having a bad day at work and you're like, that's it, I'm gonna commit suicide, I'm ending this. Then you jump out the window and then nothing but net. And then you gotta do the awkward walk of shame back to your cubicle. Jim, you try to commit suicide again? That's coming out of your lunch break. Plus we have a netting fee. Second world problem. I had a weird first world problem the other day. So someone texted me a joke, and then I wrote back, ha ha ha, and then my phone corrected it to ha ha, as if my phone was like, I don't know if we liked it that much. Your human brain might have enjoyed it. I think phones are just mad because of all the dick pics. You guys don't. You guys sending dick pics? The three guys, no dick pics? They're old-fashioned. They send out mailed out Polaroids of their dick. Because a dick pic says, I want to come to your house and have sex with you. A mailed out Polaroid says, I'm already in your house. Look in the background, that's you sleeping. I'm the guy in the balaclava. I take all my dick pics, flaccid dick, legs behind my head, Oakley sunglasses. How I do it.
All right, give up for your next comic, everybody. Ryan Long.
My comedic style I would describe as exclusively using white women's names as punchlines.
Yeah, okay, Amanda. Take it easy, Stephanie. Do you ever see a white girl and she's being all white and you're like, okay, calm down, Megan?
Amanda, maybe? Is that a joke? A lot of comedians have one or two white women's names in their act as punchlines, but not many comedians have the guts to perform an entire 45-minute set comprised entirely of white women's names as punchlines.
I actually did that joke at a different show last week, and a woman in the crowd asked to speak to the manager. I'm like, okay, Karen.
I'm always writing, I'm always looking for that next bit, I'm always looking for that next white woman's name that I can use as a replacement for a punchline. Excuse me, you're white, right? Would you mind if I get your name?
What?
Mallory, maybe?
Okay, Brooke.
See, a lot of people say that comedy is about speaking truth to power, but for me, comedy is about speaking white women's names instead of punchlines to power.
So I'm dating this girl, and she's lactose-free, gluten-free vegan. I'm like, okay, Stacy.
All right, you guys have been fun. Thank you very much. I fucking love comedy.
What do you think's the most manly job to have?
Firefighter.
I will say my cousin's a firefighter, and if you ever hang out with firefighters, you realize they have a couple hot dudes holding it down, and then 17 fat dudes that passed the test 19 years ago. Send you the Hawkeyes numbers? Okay, I'll try to do some ground research. I met this girl in Atlanta that's pretty down to suck you off. How big does it have to be for you, I mean, it can't be bigger than 6. That would just kill a woman. Are you crazy? What, saying that 6 is like a big dick? You crossed a fucking line! You want to talk shit about firefighters, that's one thing. But you want to say 6 is adequate for me?
6-inch dick would make a dent in this Grand Canyon I call a pussy. I would call this a starter piece. This? No, this is just the appetizer. Mine's like the mic cord. It's really, really long, and it also coils up a little bit. But you can sort of bunch it up and then you can sort of stick it in your mouth. I present my dick like that. They go, it's not hard. I go, it's the next best thing. You fold it enough times, starts feeling pretty hard.
Love language test.
What's the love language test? The love language test.
Tell me you're kidding.
Well, okay, does everyone else know that? Like, do you know what that is?
Raise your hand.
Okay, so this is normal. Stop dictating what happens at my comedy show. Then she goes, all right, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Get the fuck out of here with that. No one's raising any hands. Just tell me what it is. All right, could a few people raise their hands? There we go. Some hands are raised now. So.
You know what the love language
No. You eyes over here, lady. Okay, what is the...
My name's Alex.
I'm losing interest in this love language thing.
First of all,
I'll tell you what my love language isn't, when a woman takes a really long time to get the point out. When I'm just following the story, and like, you're like, okay, who's that guy? And then that, you're like, so that guy wasn't even relevant that you talked about for an hour? You're like, what happened to Doug? You're like, he's not actually part of the story. You're like, why'd you bring him up? Then why were you talking about Doug? Okay. No. This is blow. She's like, I'm way too hot for this, dude. Her mind's blown right now. These guys are on dates. They're not trying to fuck you. This guy's with his girlfriend right now. He's like, the hot girl. Now or never. Your powers are gone. They're on dates. These are people here with their wives and girlfriends. You got no power. Turns out we're moving on from the love language thing.